to Kids A-Cookin', where kids come first and cooking is fun. I'm Karen, and today I have Quentin here helping me in the kitchen. I'm glad you're here, Quentin. Tell us some things you like to do when you're not in the kitchen.
Play golf, play baseball.
You're a sports guy, huh? Yeah? Do you stay pretty busy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Well, today we have a great recipe to make. We're going to make hooked-on salmon sticks. Salmon is swimming with omega-3 fatty acids, a good thing for your heart. So it's a good thing to get hooked on salmon, and this recipe just might do it for you. We've already washed our hands. That's very important, so be sure you do it at home before you get started on this recipe or any recipe. To prepare this recipe, you need to get a large mixing bowl out, and then you start with a 14 3/4 ounce can of pink salmon. But this needs to be drained. It's already been opened, and before we opened it, we washed the top of the can. You always need to do that in case there's any germs or anything on there. We've already washed the top, but we need to drain it now, just like you would a can of tuna. So let's go over to the sink, Quentin. I'm going to let you do that job for me. You just want to push down on the top of the lid, hold the can, and just drain it right into the sink. You don't want any of that liquid in what we're doing. Good job. And be careful as you remove the top of the can that you just push down on one side and don't touch that sharp edge, because that will cut your fingers. So you just remove this and throw it away. Let's head back over here. We're going to place this in our mixing bowl. And then what you want to do is remove any of the large bones. Canned pink salmon contains soft bones that are a great source of calcium, but you want to remove any of the large hard bones, and then you can just mash up the small ones with a fork, and you'll never know they're there once the fish is cooked. I think that's most of them. There's some soft ones like this, and those are okay to leave in there. Those will not hurt you because they're soft, and you'll just never know it once we mix this all up. Now, you can crunch up. We have 16 saltine crackers, and we need to just crunch these up. We just have them in a zip-type bag, so you can just do it like this while they're in there. You want to do that? Put some of that muscle to work. Ooh, it makes you feel like the Hulk, doesn't it? How you doing? Are those looking all crunched for us? Okay, you can open that up and add them to our salmon. And then we're going to break this egg. We always break our egg in a separate dish, and that way you don't get any eggshell in your mixture. So you can break that, dump it in this bowl. And then add that egg to the rest of the crackers and salmon. Just pour it in. Then you just want to mix all this, combine it really good. You want to do some of this for me?
Sure.
You just want to stir that all up so it's all mushy and all put together. So scrape around the side and smash it down with the fork, whatever it takes to get all those chunks, like you just did. You saw that big one, didn't you? You want to mix all this together. That's looking pretty good. I think we're ready to divide this up into 8 little separate areas. Let's see here. I'm going to scrape it all together off the sides. And then you want this divided evenly into 8 separate measurements. So we're going to just kind of divide it like this down the middle, like you'd cut a pie. That puts it in 4. And then if you take half of each of those, that'll be about 1/8 of the mixture. And you're just going to shape that like you would into a fish stick in a rectangle shape, okay? So you want to push it into a ball. And then you can just put it down on the cutting board and kind of flatten it out into a fish stick shape. I'm going to preheat our skillet here to medium and spray it with cooking spray. Just lightly coat it. And then you'll want about a tablespoon of vegetable oil also in there to be preheating so we can cook these. So we'll get that going. Now after you get done with these, you'll probably want to use some lemon juice to take that fishy smell off of your hand, and that will get rid of that. Along these same lines, be sure to change dishcloths and towels daily and wash them in hot soapy water too. A dirty dishcloth is a perfect breeding ground for bacteria, and it can spread germs. So throw out old dirty or smelly sponges or wash them in a bleach water solution. And I think this is getting pretty warm. It looks ready. So we can add our salmon to this. Just want to use a spatula and lay them in here. You want to put some in? And then you're going to want to cook these for about 3 minutes on this temperature. And after about 3 minutes, we'll flip them over. So we're going to let these cook. We'll get them all in here and let them cook for about 3 minutes. Okay, our salmon sticks have browned on one side. We're going to flip them over and let them brown on the other side. I'll do a couple here, and then I'll let you try to flip a couple. I bet you can do that. Do you ever flip pancakes? These are kind of slippery. You got to kind of chase them around the pan. We're going to let these brown on this side now about another 3 minutes. You'll want to let these cook. You ready to try these? We're going to do that now. When chopping, cutting, or slicing food, use a wood or plastic cutting board, not the countertop. Cutting boards can take the nicks and scratches and are soft enough to not damage a knife. Whether you choose a plastic, acrylic, or wood cutting board, wash it in hot soapy water after each use. Cutting boards come in many colors, and it is a good idea to always use the same one for raw meat and a different one for cutting vegetables. If you have just one cutting board, make sure you cut vegetables first and then meat to avoid cross-contamination. To sanitize cutting boards, use a chlorine bleach water solution. The easiest way to do this is to mix 2 teaspoons of bleach in a quart of water. Keep the mixture in a spray bottle for easy use and mark the bottle bleach water. After spraying the cutting board, just let it air dry. If the cutting board moves around on the counter when you're chopping, place 3 or 4 thin rubber bands or a damp towel underneath to keep it from slipping. Help kids get in the habit of reaching for a cutting board each time they are chopping, dicing, or cutting. Well, Quentin, are you ready to try our hooked on salmon sticks?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a bite and see how they came out. If you haven't tried out salmon before on your kids, have them help you prepare this recipe. You might be very surprised how much they love it. Or if you've only made salmon patties before, try this new shape for salmon. Sometimes it's something just that simple that entices a child to try something new. This is no fish story. These taste great. What do you think? Do you agree? You like those?
Mm-hmm.
For more information about this recipe and helpful hints to make cooking easier, visit our website. We'll see you next time on Kids A Cookin'.